All right. Thanks to some minor technical difficulty, this will be part 2 as we continue on our conversation. But we'd actually kind of finished the subject matter I was talking about was the improving yourself, women, by doing your own thing and being your own personality. Naomi being the most recent example of that.
Actually, I can add another one because I hadn't talked to you guys about this. Did y'all see Asuka's private video?
No.
You know how she does her own videos on her channel and so forth. She talks about the EO situation.
Okay.
And she goes into the history of her and EO and how when she first met her, she became, there's the Japanese terms, but I can't remember them, but she, Asuka was the senior and EO was the junior.
Right.
And how, but she didn't treat her like a junior like is traditionally the case. She was treated her like an equal and so on and so forth. Anyway, she goes into all this history, and I recommend everybody go because Asuka is just captivating in it because she's completely in character, but also herself, but using real life about why she's so upset with EO, and that there's reasons for it. Again, my favorite thing, a heel with good points.
My question is she still using the AI chat part?
I don't know about that.
Because one on the Konichan channel that I have gotten aggravated is that she started using an AI translator to do a verbal translate, so I don't actually get to hear her talk.
No,
and I would much rather just have the subtitles and her talking.
Well, I did know she was speaking in broken English.
Okay, so she was doing it herself.
She was doing it herself.
Yeah, because the last 2 times I've tried to watch her videos have had AI translate, which is aggravating because she also has it subtitled. And the AI chat and the subtitle chat is not the same chat.
No, saying, yeah. No, this was her because, and I think she did that because she knew this was a personal thing in part of an angle. So tell this story. But yes, it's really, really good. So but that is exactly what we're talking about here. Asuka is being Asuka,
right,
and using their history to develop the story.
Right. So she's going to beat that little flying witcher.
That's right. She's going to ground that.
Well, whenever you brought up JC Jane's story a minute ago, I thought of just something funny. They're building up the fact that her little trio are all kind of at each other's throats as well. I think it would be hilarious. I saw a picture of Jasmine Nix in real wrestling gear this week. I think it would be hilarious if she dropped that title to Jasmine.
Would be, but I think it's going to be Fallon. I don't think anybody. I don't think Blake. I don't think Jordan Grace. I think Fallon is the one that's taking that title off of JC.
As shocked as we were when JC won it, think of how shocked we would be for Jasmine to win it.
Oh yes, that would catch everybody off guard. But so that's going to be my next thing. I want to go through each division, and let's talk. As Trick Williams said, let's talk about it. All right, and we'll start with you, John. Which women's division would you like to talk about? Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW.
Raw, because that's the one I'm most familiar with right now, the one that I'm actually with a lot more, and I do think it's the most stacked. And it's saying something because they're all stacked. I really do love the NXT division, but I haven't been watching, so I don't know all the ins and outs of that.
The imperfection is yours.
Yes, it is. And I haven't watched any of the TNA, but TNA I don't think there's ever been a bad TNA women's division.
There's been some ups and downs, but never bad.
Right. And they've adapted to losing two of their biggest stars, but just like I said with Raw, I mean, we've got great stuff going on with We got a new tag team champions that are great. The combination is great. And then you got they're developing a tag team division again because you got the Kabuki Warriors. You got, of course, the former champions and real champions, uncrowned champions, the Damage Control. Can't believe I just did that. The Judgment Day, Raquel and Roxy, and
I'm gonna do some damage control on you.
I need some. and then also, but they're not. There's some good non-compartmentalized because yes, while Kabuki Warriors are involved in that, there's also this whole situation. Maybe she got Rhea, look like teaming with Io, and so that's got them with this whole thing with the resentment with Asuka and Io, which is going to pay off in a great match between them two, surely. And so, honestly, I don't see any flaws. I know we already talked about, Becky and Lyra and whatever the heck's going on with Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, no notes.
You want to do NXT since that's the one you're most familiar with?
Sure, we can talk about
How about that
NXT.
Daisy Jane?
Well, I thought whenever she first got the title, I thought it was funny they were calling her the most beatable champion.
Mm-hmm.
And yet she's held the title for a little while now.
No one's been able to beat her.
Nobody's
This super
been able
beatable
to-
champion.
Yeah, nobody's been able to beat her.
It's a very Miz thing.
Yeah. Not even no Masha from TNA. She hasn't been able to beat her.
Yeah, because she's a double champion.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
She's double champion. I mean, not only did we not expect her to be champion, she's double champion.
And she's the first person ever to hold a TNA belt and a WWE belt simultaneously.
Yes.
And,
So, gotta give her props there.
and any of you out there that's watching, some of you a little more intense fans, if you guys are annoyed by that, you're making HBK laugh.
But I will say this. Okay, so we have JC holding both of the women's titles, and we have NXT male champion holding both the titles.
Not on both titles.
Oh yeah, no, he's just
Trick
holding.
Williams holding a title, but
Yeah.
not both titles. Because Oba's
That's
got
right.
a solid claim on
That's
the other
right.
title.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. But we're holding the TNA men's title also. So I'm assuming at some point one of these titles is going back, and possibly so is one of ours.
Mm-hmm.
It would only be fair.
Of course, WWE isn't always dealing fair, and TKO, I don't know how they deal, but they mainly deal in money.
This is true. This is
Lots
true.
and lots and
But
lots and
I'm
lots of
also
money.
going to say this. If Jordan Grace, and it doesn't have to be today, it's not going to be today, but it doesn't have to be today. And it doesn't have to be tomorrow. But if she doesn't hold a title in NXT before they move her up, I'm going to scream.
I agree. And then,
And I hope she gets to hold it somewhat soon, like in the next year.
oh, yeah, definitely within the next year.
Oh, yeah.
Because within the next year, she is getting called up.
Yes.
And,
That's why I said.
I don't even know if it'll be the next year, maybe before the end of this year.
Right. That's why I would really like for her to hold a title, because it just seems, I mean, not all of them, but it seems like if you hold the title, the fans know who you are. I mean, I think they know who Jordan Grace is already, but it just seems like people know who you are more whenever you hold a title.
It's actually, if that were to happen, to be kind of like the Ember Moon thing.
So whenever you move up and you don't have that title with you, you have some type of following
Yeah, of course.
I
to
think,
get over.
yeah, I think the only way she goes up without winning the title is because she wins the Royal Rumble.
Right.
And that would solidify her doing something big enough to have a big following also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I am right that Ember Moon is the only one that should have definitely won that didn't and went up to the main roster.
If my memory is right, you're correct.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
she never won
But-
anything
because I
on the
think
main
she was-
roster either.
But I think she was also a victim of the Asuka
Yes.
era.
Yes, she was.
Mhm.
And of course now she's been ROH champion 100 million years, but who knows about
And
that.
I will say this, I give props to Thea Hale for calling out Nia Jax. Knowing she was going to get beat.
It's not the best decision, but
No.
an impressively brave decision.
Brave.
Mm-hmm.
She gets a sticker for being brave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that's all she got.
She also got squashed.
She got
Yes,
squashed.
she got
Well,
squashed.
she not even squashed because she put up a pretty good fight against
She
Nia.
did.
No.
She did good
She got squashed.
At the
Maybe not
end.
squashed.
at the end, but she did good.
Mhm.
I was proud of her.
Mhm.
I hope that they continue to do things with her, so that she just continues to improve. Because I really like her.
And I forgot about that because we were talking about Nia the other day, but that's telling me that we've already talked about how Nia has improved and how she's, not hurting people, this, that, and the other.
Mhm.
This is a testament. They would not turn her loose on these girls that are not as experienced if
Right.
there was any chance that she was going to hurt them.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Well, and I want to, go in a little bit more on the TNA or NXT though, real quick. Ren Sinclair
Oh yes.
and that we saw her. What was the name of the tag team in NWA that she was part of? M95. Sorry,
M95.
when they were the NWA tag team champions. We got to meet her and get her autograph. So, we really have enjoyed watching her on NXT. That girl's facials is great. Her ability to put on a match with almost anybody is fantastic. And she is quickly becoming the new Zoe Starks of NXT. She doesn't win much, but when they need someone to go out there and put on a great match to get somebody over, they tap her for doing it. She is the go-to workhorse right now in the women's division in NXT, and it is, it's still, in my opinion, the best division out there because it is the deepest. They took big hits.
Mhm.
They lost Julia, they lost Roxanne, they lost Stephanie, and they just kept going.
For you, she's the next Zoe Stark. For me, she's the next Chelsea Green also, because of the way she sells.
Yep.
She's a rock star.
And for those,
Chelsea Green.
and for those you don't know, she is one of the two people who are reacting to Jey Uso spearing a punching bag or sandbag in the Slim Jim commercial, and that. So she's even in a commercial.
Yeah.
So she's not just a nobody,
That's right.
and that because of her facial expressions. And that is such a key thing. There are wrestling fans out there on the internet who are the keyboard warriors, and they rant and rave about work rates and everything else. But facial expressions make moves. They make matches. They're selling. One of my favorite moments in wrestling history was John Cena hit the Avalanche AA on AJ Styles at SummerSlam, and AJ kicked out. And Superman backed away from AJ Styles like he was made of kryptonite. And just the facial expression that John Cena had was like, how is this even possible? What do I do now? I mean, and there was no words. It was just a dumbfounded, what just happened? How is this possible? And it sold that moment. It also for those who are like going, well, why didn't you just cover AJ? Because he couldn't comprehend. I mean, I don't remember who the last guy was before AJ. I don't know if anybody actually did kick out of an Avalanche AA before
No.
him. If it was probably Brock Lesnar.
No, I don't think.
And I don't even think Brock did that. But if anybody did, it was Brock.
No, it was AJ.
Yeah. So it was a total unfathomable thing to John Cena that AJ kicked out of that.
Yep.
And he sold it as such.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the things, that's what Roxanne Perez does better than most everybody else does.
Yes.
You go with the guy that's one of his absolute favorites, CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk sells just as much with his face as he does his body.
Yes.
I
It
know.
certainly does. And also, nobody does it quite the body like he does as far as after the match, because he looks like and it may not even be selling. He looks like he's crippled. He's walking back.
That's probably what I refer to as the easy sell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's old.
Mhm.
Well, Paul Heyman,
Mhm.
as much as we all know how great a talker he is, his reactions around the ring are just
It can make a match.
yes.
Braun Breaker recently, the whole deal where he took the mic away from Seth.
Yeah.
So it was actually he took it away from
Took it
Paul
from Paul.
because he was fixing to hand it to
Right.
Seth, and he's doing a great job on it.
Yep.
But facial expressions mean so much in wrestling, and it's great if you can do a Spanish fly off the top rope. That's amazing. That's impressive. But if you can't sell the boo punches,
Yeah.
then what good does it do you? And so facial expressions are great, and one thing I recommend is watch people who are doing the
It
facials.
gets you 5 stars from Dave Meltzer.
Right, which will get you how many seats sold? No.
No.
No butts and seats.
No.
Butts and seats equals contract money. Merch sales matter.
Very much.
So anyway, moving on now. I'm going to talk about where do we need to go with women's wrestling. John kind of hinted on his deal in part 1. What do you think what is the most lacking thing right now in women's wrestling? Where do we need the biggest improvement?
Oh, you shouldn't ask me that. I have no idea.
Jordan Gray's getting the title.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I take that back. The most
Sometimes
lacking.
he just needs a little tiny nudge.
The most lacking thing for me right now is the fear of Jordan Grace not getting a title. But-
Agree with that.
Really. I think the women's division is doing great. So, I want them. NXT is great at promoting women wrestling. I think the others show a fair amount. Everybody could take some notes from NXT,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I think they show a fair amount. But I'm happy with it.
Well, NXT, again, no notes. NXT doesn't do anything bad with the women. They give them plenty of time.
Yes.
They're the better division in NXT, even far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whatever the structure is there, HBK, whoever else is in charge of this, so on and so forth, are letting the women just go. Yeah, and that's good. I would just like a little bit more of that on the main roster.
Yeah.
And it has improved quite a bit. I'm
Mhm.
not taking anything away from that because we've seen it and it's
Mhm.
great.
So my deal, it actually comes down to us. Not the companies, not the writing staff, not even the production companies. Comes down to the fandom. When you look at it and you say, well, who's your favorite wrestler? Most people automatically separate the men and the women. Well, my favorite male wrestler is AJ Styles. My favorite female wrestler is Charlotte Flair. Oh, that's nice. Who's your favorite wrestler?
Of AEW, Tony Storm.
You're separating my company.
Right.
But I mean is that there's so many wrestling fans out there who and not that you
I
don't
can
have.
tell you my favorite wrestler, man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he doesn't wrestle anymore, really, but I'm just saying.
Right. Well, your favorite wrestler overall the last few years has been Roman Reigns.
Yes.
And that.
Yes. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and my favorite overall wrestler right now is the American Dream, or American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Let's say Dusty's.
Dusty's not active right now. But there's too much judgment on the women by their looks and stuff like that, which is it's all part of it. Randy Orton's a great looking dude. Let's just accept that. John Cena is handsome.
Right.
AJ Lee believes CM Punk is good looking.
She ain't the only one, buddy.
He is good looking.
Oh, he got around the gals like them some CM
Yes.
Punk.
So I'm not going to fault male fans who like Alexa Bliss or Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan or Roxanne Perez. But sometimes us guys especially are real bad about that's where we stop our evaluation. That's the entry part. That's the book cover. It's not the book.
But I can prove I'm not one of those guys because there was an era called the Divas era where not all the women in that era, division were just, lookers,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of them were.
Yeah.
And nothing against Kelly Kelly, but she was not a great wrestler.
No.
And so I didn't appreciate her like I do Liv Morgan or Alexa Bliss because, yes, I do appreciate that they're good looking and look good in their gear, but it don't stop there.
No.
I want the character. I want the ability to talk. I want the ability to wrestle. I want to like them the same way I like CM Punk and Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
We've got that. We've got really good wrestlers.
Right. And then the only other thing I would say out there is also the production team, especially on the main rosters, just in AEW, Raw, and SmackDown. All it. And the production teams behind the PLEs. Have faith in them. Trust that people want to see Rhea Ripley. That they want to see Charlotte, that they want to see Bayley, they want to see Roxanne and Raquel and so on. People are paying yes. Is every women's match the main event? No, it's not. And because of the disproportionate amount of male wrestlers, it's probably most of the time going to be a men's main event.
Yes.
That's not saying the women can't main event. It's just when you have, if you look at I haven't looked at the WWE roster recently, that's why we'll go with AEW. AEW at one point in time had 150 male wrestlers and about 50 female. That means there's only a 25% chance that the best women's match could be the main event of a pay-per-view. Because 75% of the matches are going to be males, because 75% of the wrestlers are male. So there's only, this percentage odds. But it doesn't mean that if Tony Storm versus Chris Statlander is the best storyline you have going in your... Right now it's Athena, so I'm going to switch over to Athena.
Mm-hmm.
If Athena versus Tony Storm is the best storyline that you have going into your pay-per-view, then I don't care if it's MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. If they haven't sold me on the story, then it don't need to be the main event.
Right. Totally.
And you can open with that. And your best match should close the show, and your second best match should open the show.
Right.
And you structure your show. I've never been a big fan of the let's put our 3 best matches at the end of the card, which is what we sat through at All In.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly,
It's overload.
there was too many matches, and the crowd, the AEW faithful, many of them traveled to Texas to see this show, didn't care until suddenly Dustin won the TNT title. That got everybody up. That got everybody excited. But that was like the 3rd or 4th match of the main card, not counting the pre-show. And so there was 4 or 5 matches where people were just like, "Yay, that's okay match. Want to get some popcorn now?"
Well, actually, speaking of that, we need to congratulate Dustin. Since we're talking about women's wrestling, surely he's gender fluid.
I don't know.
It's a gold dust joke.
I know. Oh boy.
But yes.
But on that card, you had Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné, which was a really great match. You had Kenny Omega versus Okada, which was promoted as a great match. And then you had Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley for the AEW briefcase title.
Which had a good ending.
Which had a great ending. And then there was stuff that happened before that.
Right.
The match that I would have rather closed the show with, other than the ending, even though there was the right ending in the women's match, would have been the women's match. But the women's match didn't have the best story going into it compared to please get this belt off Moxley.
Please.
Please.
You know, so I'd have been much happier if the main show had opened with Mercedes and Tony, and that would have got everything going at the main card immediately. Mm-hmm. It would have made all the other matches, the Hurt Syndicate matches and everything else mean more, because people would have been excited because they had just seen a really great, important match.
Well,
Yes.
a match that they should have had, the final match, was that match between Toni Storm and Ryan May.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it actually had the end on
The
it.
end.
Yeah.
That should have been the final match.
And that was, at that point in time, hands down by miles, the best storyline going in AEW.
And that was that Mox Edge match that everybody crapped on.
Yep. And with good reason,
Yeah.
because it was crap. But the WWE is just as guilty. They've had several. The women's triple threat match. Which show was that? I'm trying to remember now. Well, that was WrestleMania. You were going to cop WrestleMania, but they did do it right because it opened.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. It was the second most important match on the entire card, so it opened the card, and the most important match on the card closed it. You bookend your shows, and you know when you get it right, you get it right. And trust me, there wasn't a match better. There were matches that meant. I wouldn't even say meant more. They meant more to more people.
Right.
But I mean that tag match was that triple threat match was incredible.
Absolutely incredible. It was the match of the weekend for me, you know, and there was other moments that was great because the IC match was great, but not to that level. But the ending of it was great,
Right.
with Dom winning and then organically coming back because the crowd wanted to give him more love, that sort of thing. But actually, from bell to bell, the best match for me was that triple threat match.
Right. And that's where I think the producers or the production team and promoters need to get more behind the women's matches. WWE loves bragging about the fact that Becky Lynch, and Becky likes bragging about it too, was the main event of WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's been a few years. Let's do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did have Bianca and Sasha, but again, that's still been a good time.
Right.
So yeah, it needs to happen again. And
It does.
So, but here I want to say, just whatever, anybody out there that's sitting on the fence, whatever, just ask yourself for a minute. Take favoritism out of it or whatever. And it's arguable, of course. But name me anybody on that roster, any roster, that's better than Asuka or Io.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
and who's the bigger star than Rhea outside of Cody Rhodes?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Cody Rhodes pointed out that there are weeks where Rhea is the best, is the top merch seller over him.
Yeah, she's an absolute star,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's a good way to close. I think let's each pick 3 of the people that aren't the big stars now. They're clearly are stars, but are going to be potentially the biggest stars going forward in a few years.
You get to lead off with that because I see she's trying to think on this.
Well, mine, it's easy. Stephanie Valcour, Roxanne Perez, Julia. Those 3 I see absolute the it factor. Not only are they good in the ring, but they have a thing that connects with people and the crowd, and they're not like the other girls, as Nia's song goes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to go with Julia's the U.S. title, but I don't think she's connecting as well with the main roster crowd. I think she's having some of that problem that you have sometimes when someone comes up from NXT or from the independents. I don't think she's connecting. I think that's why they put Kiana James.
Kiana.
Kiana James, yeah. With her is to try to help her get there because her broken English isn't connecting like Asuka's broken English.
No.
But of course, Asuka had always the fallback of nobody's ready for Asuka.
Nobody's ready for Asuka.
Io has her whole point
Yes.
thing. Julia doesn't have that yet.
No, and I want to make clear here, I'm talking about the future.
Right.
I mean, she's not as far along as Stephanie Valcour by any means.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Stephanie just hit like a bomb.
Yep.
You know, first in NXT and now on the main roster.
Yes.
She's on that treadmill already.
Yeah.
And Roxanne, come on.
Yeah. Roxanne is going to be another woman who's going to main event at WrestleMania. I don't know who it's going to be against, but at some point, Roxanne is going to main event at WrestleMania.
I want to give the biggest compliment I can to little Miss Rotten Roxy. She is my next Bailey. Because just like Bailey, she's that utility shortstop that can do it all.
Mm-hmm.
You can rely on her no matter what.
Yep. Well, that's the Raw match that just happened recently, where Naomi wasn't medically cleared because basically they were confirming a pregnancy. I'm pretty sure is what was going on at that time.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to wrestle her. That match with Roxanne and Io was not planned out. It's the most independent wrestling match I've ever seen on Raw. It was called in the ring. If you pay attention, you can catch it being called in the ring. They had a couple of highlights walked through early, and that was it. It was thrown together last minute. It was the match of the night. It was the best match on the card. And they ad-libbed it. They worked it. They called it in the ring. It showed, and it was extremely good.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
So my 3 are Lyra,
Yeah,
Lyra
good
Valkyrie.
choice. Very good choice.
Roxanne,
Yep.
and Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan Grace.
How surprised am I that Jordan's not?
Well,
That's a given.
It's a given. And,
Well-
and great choice.
That's it. I'm not actually going to count Jordan or Julia. And because Roxanne's been mentioned a whole lot, I'm actually going to exclude her from my list. Not because she doesn't deserve to be on it, but because she's already on everybody else's, so then you get some other names out there.
I see you run cold on her. Used to be a big fan.
No, I'm still a big fan. But I'm going to go with the real future potentials, the ones that aren't there yet.
Okay.
Oh,
And that.
we don't know if Baby Uso's going to be.
Oh, I
girl or
know.
boy.
I know who you're talking about.
I'm going to go with Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So Ruka has an X factor. She has the flashiest finisher in the business today. You pick the wrestler, male, female. I don't care. There's nothing that matches the Soul Snatcher right now.
Steve RKO.
yeah. That's the thing that matches is Randy Orton's RKO.
Yep.
That's
Or Stone Cold Stunner.
I think it's flashier than the Stone Cold Stunner.
It is flashier, but I mean, as far as a move that everybody
everybody reacts
Yeah,
to.
right.
Yes. But she is going places,
Yes.
and she's not ready yet. She's still a little bit too choreographed. She's not ready for the ab living part. She's not
Right.
there. But that's the only thing she's really missing. She's good. She's not great on the mic, but she's good on the mic already. She will continue to get better. She's got the look. She's an extremely attractive woman. She is athletic as all get out. She was ridiculously athletic.
Yeah.
And she's got this amazing finisher, and she's gotten really good in the ring already. Next one I'm going to go with your girl,
Who?
Thea Hell.
Oh yes.
Thea Hell, that girl is utility. She has got the facials. She fights from underneath. When Liv and Alexa are done in this business, there's going to be a void that needs to be filled by a little blonde girl, and her name's Thea Hell. She is going to be, in 5 years or so, she's going to be the Liv or Alexa, and that's super high compliments.
Yes, it is.
And the other one, the Bougie Bully, Lash Legend.
Yeah.
Oh
And that.
yes.
Because she is a powerhouse, legit. She legit body slammed Otis. You can look that up. There's not a lot of guys who can legit body slam Otis.
I love Lash.
Yes.
Yeah,
And her match that she just had, which I believe is on YouTube, against Nia on NXT last week, is super impressive.
It is.
And
I think there's a danger that Lash might lap Jade.
well, I mean, the only thing she doesn't have yet is she doesn't have that super charisma that Jade has.
Right.
But she's quite a bit better than Jade is in the ring already.
This is big.
And she's actually
Bigger.
She's bigger,
Yeah.
really. She's not as muscular, but
Yeah,
she's
but she's
stockier.
Bigger.
And her character work is coming along really well.
More athletic.
Uh-huh. More athletic. And she's just really impressive in the ring. And she knows how to work with people. And she doesn't, at least from what I see, she doesn't get full of herself where she has this problem with losing.
But I like her character.
Mm-hmm.
Her character works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think she is one of the girls, like I said, not next year, but you get to 2027, 2028, we're looking at someone who's possibly going to hold one of the two women's title on the main roster.
Yeah, and those are good picks.
But the ones that are on the main roster, one of the ones I would like to see get a push, who I really think deserves it, is Ivy Niles.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Zoe when she comes back.
Zoe, I'm a big Zoe Starks fan. I've become more and more of a Zoe Starks fan. And by the way, everybody wants to gripe about what happened to her as far as like being her fault or Kari's fault. Crap happens. And it sucks for her. But she is a tremendously loyal, good wrestler. And she's somebody that anybody who has a wrestling promotion should be happy to have on their roster.
Absolutely.
So, kind of at the end here. So, closing thoughts. You want to go first?
Sure. So I'm not going to let today pass without just saying a little shout out to to Miranda Gordy, because as of 5 years ago today, Ray proposed to me with her help. So I just want to give a little shout out. Hey, Miranda.
Woo, Bad Street Babe.
Yep.
And so today's been a special day.
The daughter of my favorite wrestler of all time.
And I will never be able to thank her enough for helping set that up.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really cool. Very cool. I was manning the store.
Your final thoughts?
Eo's great.
I'm going to make a comment here, a final thought. With the exception of just kind of pointing out her popularity, we spent this whole time our first like 30 minutes before the technical difficulty forced us to go to part 2. And we're at 30 minutes now of this one. We barely even mentioned the biggest female star in the business today, which is Rhea Ripley. That's how deep
Yeah.
women's wrestling has gotten. Gone are the days where it's Medusa and this one other girl, or Lita and Trish. Oh, and then Molly Holly might have a match.
Right.
We can talk about multiple feuds across multiple companies.
Well, we still didn't even talk about half the roster.
Right. Oh, and we barely even mentioned that the TNA knockouts exist.
Right.
Masha Slamovich and the Elegance brand, which I absolutely adore and love. All these great things, because there's so much women's wrestling out there right now that you can talk about it for an hour and not talk about the main stars that much.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because really,
We didn't mention Bianca Belair hardly at all.
nothing about
And that's who was on the tip of
Yeah.
my tongue. Was we hadn't even talked about Bianca, and I love Bianca.
Yeah. And you only mentioned Jade Cargill in comparison
to Lash.
Lash.
Yes. Well, here's the thing about Bianca and Rhea. Who are your two biggest stars?
Mhm.
And then it would be the horsewomen, the remaining horsewomen that are there, Becky and Bailey and.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Sasha is a huge deal in.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
in
I was just talking about
AEW.
WWE. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. The second
Hey,
biggest
there's
star.
more wrestling than just
the
WWE.
second biggest star
Yeah.
in AEW women is certainly Mercedes Moné, no question about it. But what I was going to say is that they become so big that it's kind of redundant. We've said it all.
Mhm.
It's abundantly clear to anybody that's not blind or deaf. Rhea is the biggest, one of the absolute biggest stars in all of wrestling.
Yeah, male or female,
She
doesn't
doesn't.
matter.
She got to the point where she doesn't need the title.
Mhm.
And the same thing with Bianca.
Yeah.
It's clear that they connect with a huge audience. And so yes, it is a testament that we could go an entire hour and just barely mention them because we don't really have to.
Right.
Because it's just an abundantly clear fact.
Right. And as a guy who's been a fan of women's wrestling for a long time, the fact that we don't have one women's match in a 3-hour Raw that's 3 minutes long anymore, and that's all we get, unless we have a bra and panties match, which back in the day or something like that. That is a great situation to be in. We like to point out that we were there when the new women's Raw title, which now doesn't exist anymore,
No.
been replaced, was introduced at WrestleMania 32. We were there when Toni Storm retained against Mercedes. We were, we got to see Masha Slamovich, wrestle live and in person. All these great women's matches that we have gotten to see over the years. And it's just going to keep getting better. So, support it.
Yes. Other merch.
Buy the merch.
And I'm going to pledge this. I'm going to pledge this because I'm not super happy with this new news about ESPN and all this, that, and the other. I'm a poor boy. I'm going to have to go to their house to watch the big shows and so on and so forth, this, that, and the other. But I'm telling you, listen to me, Triple H. Listen to me. Listen to me, Nick Khan and TKO. If you do what I suggested about Evolution next year, I will buy that pay-per-view. I will buy it to support it. I pledge to you.
And everybody should support it. And thank you to, I think it was the 6,400 people who went to Evolution.
Yes.
And that. Thank you for being there. Thank
It
you
was
for
a
showing
great
real
crowd.
support.
Fantastic crowd.
That, I think we'll call it a night.
Yes.
You know, we need a ring bell.
Well, you're in charge of getting that.
I'll try to work.
All right.
Ding, ding, ding.
We'll see y'all next time on Wrestling Pals.